Welcome back in the hall, episode 93. It's about 1 a.m. on, I guess it's Monday, 1 a.m. on a Monday. I don't know why I wait till super late to do the show. I think I'm usually like in my head, I'm going to get up at 7 and start the show at 8. But then I'm like, it just doesn't, I don't want to do this at 8 a.m. I'm so used to doing comedy at night. You finish up at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., you stay out till late, 3, stay up till 5 in the morning. Radio hosts get up early. I don't feel like a radio host. This is not a radio show. You know what I mean? I want to do, comedy is for when the sun goes down. It's for heathens, degenerates. It's for the island of misfit toys. So just 1 a.m. feels right. Again, I will be opening for the very funny Ross Padgett on June 11th in Palm Harbor. Very funny comedian. Well, you know what? I don't like when people say that. He's a funny comedian. Yeah, I hope he is. People are like, that guy's a funny comedian. Yeah, that's redundant. Funny comedian. Oh, that's a really attractive model. Well, I fucking hope so. Well, I guess now you got the fat models. So, dude, I did look up that Down syndrome Victoria's Secret model, but I looked it up on regular Safari, not DuckDuckGo. So I'm like, great. That added to my search history. I know I'm on a list. Probably on multiple lists, but now that's added to it. This is this guy's search history. Oh, and he also looks up the Down syndrome Victoria's Secret model. So I'll be performing. I'll be featuring for Ross June 11th. I don't have the exact time or location. More to come as that date approaches. Before we get started, if you're watching the YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like. If you're listening to the show, whether it be Apple or Spotify, hit the subscribe button. I mean, fuck, it's not that hard. I see the numbers. One episode gets 1,000 downloads, and the one from 2 weeks ago gets like 20. And then everyone catches up. And it's like, if you hit the subscribe button, you don't have to go back through the catalog and find the episodes that you missed. They're automatically there for you. Such a weird gap. Like, there'll be like 1,000 downloads on episode 91, and then like 25. And I'm just like, is that the episode that everybody just decided to stop listening? And then watch, this one's going to come out back to 1,000. So there's like this weird gap of people, and I can't get a good gauge of, I know there's a lot of repeat listeners, but I'm like trying to track if there's a new audience, but it's just like a roller coaster of downloads. Anyway, so yeah, hit the 5 stars, leave a review. That's always appreciated. And let's get started, man. I got a haircut this week when the guy, I went to the Dominicans again. I don't know who else to go for, I don't trust any of these barbers. Growing up, I got my haircut by a large woman named Sandra with an alcohol problem, and she just did everything perfect because she knows how to use scissors. The Dominicans, great people, great barbers, okay? Big fan. But they want to give me the M&M. They just want to fucking shave everything. Clippers only, Papa. And I'm like, no. I need scissors on top. But the guy did a hell of a job. I mean, when I first got out of the barber chair, I looked like Tommy Shelby from the fucking Peaky Blinders. And I'm like, this is not what I wanted, but it's kind of badass. Now, 3 days later, I wake up and I just can't style it the same. I wake up looking like an aggressive lesbian that rides a Harley to softball practice to coach a losing team. Unbelievable. I'll give it 2 months. I'll go back to having it slicked back like a ice cream salesman from the 60s. Whoa, gee, mister, a whole nickel? They used to be big money back then. They'd give you the guy would flick you a coin. Ping. Whoa, gee, mister. 25 cents. Like, hey, don't spend it all in one place, kid. I destroyed my tailbone this week. I got a new job. Surprise. I'm like Mike Rowe, that guy from Dirty Jobs, who just does a new job each episode, except there's no camera crew following me. It's just me trying to pay rent. And so I'm a golf cart attendant at a high-end resort. And it's the perfect job if you're in high school. Okay, I get up at 4 a.m., drive an hour. I'm not going to say the name of this resort because I need this job for at least 2 more months. It's an hour commute. I got to unplug all the golf carts, wash them, put the towels in the cup holder, park them out front, get them ready for people's tea time. Or I do valet, and I unload bags from people's trunk, put them on a golf cart, drive them down, park them, let the guy know whose bag it is, and then drive a new cart back up, repeat. So again, amazing job if you're in high school. $120 a day. I work with mainly old guys that are retired that are just trying to get away from their wife. You know, every day I got to hear from this guy. He's like, my fucking bitch wife is texting me. You know, they just want to play golf for free. And they're like, they don't give a shit about the money. Half of them have pensions. And they just dick around all day. I was eating lunch super fast because there's no, like, real breaks. It's just kind of like, oh, yeah, you can go get food. And this old guy, Dave, was like, hey, take it easy, Sean. Yeah, you're eating way too fast. And I'm like, I am? He's like, yeah, we're not in a rush at all around here. So, I mean, yeah, it's just a monotonous job of just spraying, hosing off golf carts, and then putting water bottles in the cooler of each cart. Like tomorrow I'm working 12 to 8, which is not bad, but dude, 8 hours? Dude, an 8-hour shift? Fuck, bro. I don't know how nurses do it. 12 hours at a hospital? Oh my gosh. I would be injecting myself with morphine. By the way, that is the one drug that if I ever got a hold of, I would be extremely addicted to. I remember I had surgery and I just kept hitting the button that injects morphine into your vein, and the nurse was like, hey, are you in a lot of pain? And I go, no, this shit just feels fantastic. And she's like, okay, well, you don't need to hit the button that much because you might kill yourself. I'm like, dude, that's fucking amazing. Yeah, so I destroyed my tailbone. I'm not used to getting up at 3:30 a.m. So I'm in the shower. I'm like trying to wake up. I'm taking a cold shower. I start doing body squats. And on like the third body squat, because you know that's how they say that wakes you up, gets the blood flowing. Dude, I sat my tailbone on the thing on the shower faucet that, you know, when you hit it runs the bath, and then when you pull it up, it runs the shower. Dude, I fucking sat right on that thing. Oh my gosh. I was like, well, I'm awake now. Fuck the body squats. I just got like it's like the top of a nail right into my tailbone, dude. Oh, fuck. It's like the closest I've ever been to like being raped in prison. Just felt horrible. I felt ashamed. I'm like, did I really just do that? Thank God it wasn't in my ass, because I probably would have just called off. Like, you know what? This job is not for me. Oh, damn. It is wild, though, to see the level of money that comes into this place. You know, I'm holding the door for like this, like a dad and then his like shithead kid decked out in like high-end golf gear. I'm like, look at this piece of look at this spoiled motherfucker. Yeah, enjoy your day. Some like super rich white kids almost look inbred. You know, they're so rich they just look weird. Does anybody else notice that? You've ever been around that level of wealth where you just look at a kid and you're like, is he even human? Just looks fucking creepy almost. Like, you know, they're 8 years old, but they're also like, maybe there are lizard people. There's this camp there. Again, not going to say the name of it, but parents send their kids to this golf camp. It's $125,000 for the year for your kid to play golf. $125,000. It's mostly Asian kids, which is wild because they're all fat. You know, their parents come to pick them up. They're like fresh off the boat Chinese. They're like, oh, how was your golf practice? And the kid's like, it was fine. They don't even like really give a fuck about playing golf. Their parents are just like, you know, we want our kids to focus on golf before they find fentanyl. That's kind of the vibe. And dude, it is wild to see like a fresh off the boat Chinese person and then they're just fat kids. And some of them have coaches that like live with, like they're almost like, it's like a nanny coach kind of thing. Like it's like a tutor / golf coach. Like they teach you the Pythagorean theorem and how to chip and putt. I just imagine like the Chinese parent on FaceTime with their kid. Like, how is your golf swing? And the kid's like, have you ever had a hot dog? These things are fucking incredible. I asked you how your golf swing was. And like, dude, Dad, they got this thing called buffalo sauce because they're all Americanized. Like, they've been here since they were young because their parents are trying to force them to be on the PGA Tour. You know, they're trying to, like, get them a Rolex deal, a Rolex brand deal or something. And the kid's just eating fucking cheeseburgers. He's just like, this is way better than what we have back home, Dad. I pay $125,000. The dad's just probably losing his shit. We pay $125,000 for you to get good at golf, and you just want to talk about eating cheeseburgers and fried pickles. And the kid's like, yeah, pretty much. This shit is way better than white rice and bat soup that we have back home. And I had to sit through 2 days of orientation because it's like they want to let you know about the brand, and everyone there is like, we're a big family here. We're a big family here at the resort. And I'm like, oh God. Anytime a company says we're family, it means they're going to fuck you. So yeah, I had to sit through 2 days of orientation. First day wasn't bad. Second day got weird. They made us watch a 4-hour, we spent 4 hours on how to identify sex trafficking because it is a hotel, but I don't even work in the hotel. I'm like a mile away on the golf course. And so I'm sitting there listening to this sex trafficking thing, trying not to make jokes, but I just had to. The video was like, sex trafficking happens in all kinds of hotels. And then the lady from HR calls on me. And she was like, what would you say if you saw someone who is being sex trafficked? And I said, well, at least you get to stay at the resort. Not a bad place to be trafficked. At least you have a fucking sweet balcony view over the 9th hole. And she was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh, fucking, you people with your fucking pantsuit. Women in suits are just so fucking boring. You know what I mean? Just, ugh. It's so funny to watch someone. A lot of these HR people had like pre-written jokes, you know, in their speech. The lady goes, well, my name is so-and-so, and you know, they're doing the thing with their hands, the diamond, touching all their fingers together like they're Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. They're like, she was like, I've been at this resort for 5 years, so I started when I was 25. She's clearly like in her 50s. She goes, I started when I was 25. Wah, wah, wah. No one laughs. Then she does that nervous, like, haha, that joke didn't work. Nothing funnier than watching someone from corporate just fucking bomb. I'm like, just fucking do your spiel so we can move on. I'm getting paid $10 an hour to listen to this bullshit. So yeah, it's a very temporary job. Not bad. I mean, it is what it is, but just needed to pick something up in the meantime before I make my next move. That's what life's all about. Just, you know, everything's temporary, the good times, the bad times. For a split second, though, I went, what the fuck am I doing? I was scrubbing the front of a golf cart, and I'm like, dude, a year and a half ago, I was smoking a joint next to Joe Rogan at the Comedy Store, and now I'm fucking scrubbing golf carts. Just a weird, you know, not to drop names or whatever, but it's just a funny, like, it's just funny how life works. Any news articles you guys find or anything interesting, any targeted ads, send them to inthehallpodcast@gmail.com or any of the social medias at I'm Sean Madden on Instagram, at In the Hall Podcast. Send me a DM. I also have a new page at Kim Jong Comedy, KIMJUNG Comedy. It's a variety page. It has me, my buddy Gary, Ben, and it's going to have some other comics too. It's just going to be like a combined page of just like our funniest stuff. So check that out, man. It's going to be cool to watch that grow. And also follow the TikTok, man. It's blowing up. We're about to be at 13,000 followers, subscribers. Followers. But yeah, it went viral a few times on there, so that's cool. I have a Florida Man teacher series, so it's like me being Florida Man teaching class, and we're on the 6th episode, and it's going very well. So check that out if you get a chance. I don't know if you're on TikTok. I didn't want to be, but it turns out that's where you got to be. So yeah, send any interesting news articles in. I'm kind of tired of like digging through the garbage, the propaganda. I have all the news feeds on my phone. CNN is probably the worst. It'll be like death, destruction, chaos, shooting, shooting, shooting. How you too can make an authentic pizza crust like an Italian family. You're like, okay. It's always something crazy, way off topic. A family of 5 was burned in a house fire. What kitchen items are on your counter making your kitchen feel smaller? Click here to find out which ones they are. Oh, I had an interesting interaction at a 7-Eleven this week. I had to tape a roof permit to somebody's front door for they're getting a new roof. And Chip called me last minute. He's like, "Hey, can you run over to this house and tape this permit on the door because he's out of town?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So I go to the county, I get the permit. And I'm like, oh, shit, I don't have any tape. So I stop at a 7-Eleven in the middle of nowhere. They had one packing tape roll left on the shelf. And so I go to check out. I got tape and a water bottle. That was it. I know, interesting purchase. And the lady behind the counter, she goes, "You taping anybody today?" And I was like, "No, not today." And she's like, "Yeah, I always threaten my dogs that I'm going to tape them." And I go, "Okay, what's my total?" And then she's like, "Do you want your receipt?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want any evidence." And she's like, "Good idea." I'm like, that was odd. But then I got to my car and I was like, okay, this is the last tape on the shelf. We're in the middle of nowhere, Florida. That is a valid question to ask somebody. Are you going to tape somebody today? I'm sure there's a lot of taping going on. I'm using this tape to tape a permit to a door. Other people are tying people up with it. Guaranteed. I know everyone's been talking about the shooting in Buffalo, the shooting in Texas. Very sad. My heart goes out to the families. I can't even imagine. So we're not going to dwell too much on that topic because I know everyone and their mother is talking about it. But I do have one interesting piece because I just can't not look into these things when they happen, especially back to back. And there's an immediate push for gun control. I'm not saying what's right or wrong, what's truth or not, but I got to share this with you guys because apparently one of the police officers that was shot at the grocery store in Buffalo, New York, was a cop who was about to patent a water-powered engine. And usually when you go to patent something like that, that's going to crush an industry. Okay, imagine if you could just pour a bottle of water into your car and not have to pay $4.50 a gallon. I know if you're listening to this in LA, you're paying way more than that. But here in Florida, it's about $4.40 a gallon. So imagine if you could just pour water into your car and it would run off that. This guy was redoing, it looks like an F-150 with a water-powered engine, and he was going to go patent it, and he ended up getting shot in a parking lot at a grocery store. And they shot a few other people. A lot of people are saying they shot the other people just to cover it up because if they just shot him, they would say, "Oh, this is the reason why." But people are starting to see through the bullshit. So this is a video I came across on TikTok. Actually, a ton of them. But this is one of the main ones. I wanted to share it with you, and you decide what it is. Hopefully the volume's not messed up.
So if you didn't know, this guy here woke up and drove 200 miles to a grocery store in Buffalo, New York, shooting and killing 10 people and injuring 3 others. Now, among the people who were killed was a guy named Aaron Salters, and this is where things get a bit interesting. Now, what caught my attention about this is that Mr. Salters was just on the news about a month ago explaining an invention he made, which was an engine that runs completely off water, no fuel needed. A completely hydrogen fuel system. And we all know what happened to the last person who decided to come forth with an invention similar to this one.
Possible active shooter at the top. Before Buffalo police rushed to Top's Friendly Market Saturday, there was Aaron Salter, the security guard, killed as he served and protected.
Aaron Salter, 55, retired Buffalo police officer. Loved electric cars.
He built a lab in his garage where he spent countless hours working to develop an engine that could run on water.
It's not running off a gas fuel? No, there's no gas fuel.
I can't tell you how I use it. I do have a patent pending.
A local inventor has discovered a way, hear this, to use water to run your car. It's a major breakthrough that will no doubt make motorists happy. And as Ralph Robinson explains, the Pentagon is also showing lots of interest in this project.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure the Pentagon is showing lots of interest in that project, as in, where the fuck is this guy?
It's going to be the new platform of technology when oil runs out.
Are we not getting into a gas crisis right now?
The biggest natural resource in the world is water. Once the engineers get a hold to this revolutionary discovery, in no time short, there will definitely be cars running on water. Bottled water will work, and tap water will work. When I show this vehicle running, I almost show people it running because, as I explained to my lawyers, it shouldn't be running. According to the experts,
Well, folks, you heard it yourself from the mouth of Baron Salters, AW.
let me know what y'all think in the comments below.
Crazy, right? Well, not actually that crazy if you're familiar with it. I've been a big fan of Nikola Tesla for a while. I have a photo of him on my wall, and he got shut down. He developed what the ancient Egyptians already used. A lot of people think that the pyramids, well, we're taught in school, oh, the pyramids are just tombs for pharaohs. But if you really look into it, the pyramids were actually ancient power plants that could light up light bulbs from a distance wirelessly. So Tesla was he figured out that same thing. It's like, imagine if you could just charge your phone, if your phone was just always charging, or if you could power your lights for free, you never had to pay a power bill. This would destroy massive industries, especially the water-powered car. I know the first guy that invented that got silenced. I think it was in the 60s he got killed. Now this guy comes up with it again. Someone invented a tire that never wears down, a certain rubber, so that would have destroyed the rubber, big tire, or whatever you want to call it. I got to kind of make it funny because, it's crazy, man. Imagine if I came out today and said, hey guys, I invented a cell phone battery that never needs to be recharged. I would be gunned down immediately. It's just the way it works, man. A lot of these people, very greedy people at the top, have heavy interest in, keeping their money, keeping their power and their control. And so, man, rest in peace. It sucks when someone invents something that could really help humanity. They get silenced. And then a lot of people refer to, I've never seen it, but apparently there's a movie or a show called Jack Reacher. And I was actually talking about this with a guy at work, and it was like in the scene, apparently, I haven't seen it, but he assassinates the target, but then he just shoots a few more people around him to kind of blend it in, like, oh, it was just a random act of violence, but really it was just one target. And I'm not going to really go into the Texas shooting, but yeah, that one's just sad as well. That one's also really fishy. I'm going to let you guys do your own research on that or not. But yeah, the Buffalo one was the one that really caught my eye with the whole hydrogen engine. And then again, yeah, my heart goes out to all the families there, and especially Texas, man. It's fucking unreal. Now there's just the push for gun control. So yeah, it's kind of like two birds with one stone. Okay, let's focus on, banning the AR-15, and also putting a stop to the hydrogen engine. Because, man, fuck, dude, I'll tell you what. If I didn't have to keep putting $60 into my car every almost twice a week, it's just an astronomical amount of money people are paying for gas. So the technology's there, man, and it's just like they only give you a little piece of it. Like the Prius, right? Like, oh, the Prius gets 52 miles a gallon. I'm like, that's fucking garbage in the grand scheme of things. Anything that has they have engines that get 1,000 miles a gallon, but you're never going to see that in a car company, because big oil companies will just buy that patent and hold on to it and never make that engine available to the public. So, just something to keep in mind, man. Really fucking interesting stuff, dude. Anything that you come out with that's going to crush or topple a certain industry, they have heavy interest in keeping that money, man. And I think that'll do it. Oh, actually, I did get a targeted ad this week. I don't know why I got this one. Again, they're all kind of wacky. Again, if you get a targeted ad, send it in. Send me a message. Let me know how crazy it is. So I got one. It was a designer toilet. It was almost like a cover. So you have just your toilet. It's a standalone porcelain toilet. Well, this was like a kit that you build around your toilet, and then it makes it look like a throne. People are like, "Oh, I'm sitting on the throne," like an expression for the toilet. This was like an actual throne. So it's like a king's chair with just a toilet seat in the middle. And it is the tackiest, goofiest looking thing of all time. And it's almost gross because it's like you have the toilet and then it's like this leather or like vinyl, I don't know what it is, like a cheap couch built around it. It's just like, it's disgusting because, sometimes you miss the toilet at 3 a.m. when you're just going to pee on this fucking leather seat. Ugh. So gross, dude. But anyway, hit that like button, subscribe, share, leave a review. Thank you guys for listening, and I will see you next week for episode 94.
You want to smoke something?
You've seen him perform all over LA. Give it up for Sean Madden, everybody.
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
This joke's not gonna go well.